What do you mean Snow White can't be Snow White? What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's called Snow White. Why can't she be white? It's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. What do you mean there's no dwarves? We can't use dwarfs. I don't care about the current climate. I don't care about... The climate's fine. The sun's out. What are you talking about? It's problematic. I don't care. It's called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. How are we supposed to make a film without Snow White and without the dwarves? What are we supposed to do? Puerto Rican. What has that got to do? Why must she be Puerto Rican? How can she be Snow White if she's Puerto Rican? I know some Puerto Ricans are have less melanin than other Puerto Ricans. But she's Snow White. The whole point of the film is the fact that... what am I supposed to tell my director? How the hell are they going to work this one out? What are the dwarves doing? Who says this about the dwarves? What is wrong with dwarves? We use the right word. We don't say midgets anymore. We say dwarves. What else is the problem? How can you have Snow White and the seven large people? How is she going to boss them around when they're all 7 foot tall? Have you thought this through? I'm really stressed out. I've got a Cocaine Anonymous fucking meeting coming up. I've got Narconomics coming up. I've got AA coming up. I've got a lot of deals I've got to put together. I've got billions of dollars writing on this film. It's a no-brainer. Snow White and it's the number 7. Is that okay? Are we allowed to use the number 7? Is that going to upset anybody? Does the number 7, lucky number 7? Is that witchcraft or something? Does that offend religious sensibilities of people who practice voodoo or something? So what did you do? How did your career go, Granddad? Well, I was up for one of the dwarves. You know, in between my NBA basketball career, I thought I'd do a bit of dwarfism, you know. I know it was typecasting, but I thought, well, you know, if you don't try something new, then what can you do? So really, you tried out for one of the dwarves in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, that famous, the film that sank Disney finally. The one that was the final nail in the coffin. Really, wow. How did it go? Well, it was good. They dressed me up in a sort of harlequin rubbish dump, poured lysergic acid into my eyes, and threatened to shoot me if I didn't get in a line and hop along merrily, whistling while I worked. And how did things work out after that? Well, about 3 or 4 suicide attempts. I continued, and right up to this day, drug and alcohol habit that has basically wrecked my life. All my dreams have been shattered. I was going to do an off-Broadway play, actually, by Henrik Ibsen, The Wild Geese, I think. But I thought, I'm going to try the dwarf role. You never know, it could be a stepping stone for my career. You never know, it could be good. I tried it, the entire world laughed at me. I became homeless for a number of years. I'd walk down the street and people would throw darts at me, you know, IEDs were laid in front of my feet to try and blow me up. The entire dwarf community put a contract out on me, tried to get me killed on a number of occasions. I don't know if you've ever had to wrestle 4 dwarfs at once armed with stiletto knives, but even for a big guy like me, it was quite difficult, you know. Once you get a hold of your ankles, it's very hard to get them to release. There's a lot of, although they have big buttocks, you can grab them. It reminded me of my basketball days. Well, her name's Rachel Zegler or something. She's Puerto Rican. It's quite a Germanic sounding name. I'm assuming that after the Second World War, some of our friends from a certain regime, I know they escaped to Argentina and Brazil, well, maybe some of them went to Puerto Rico. You never know. Maybe some of Adolf's confidants are big fans of reggaeton. Who knows? Who knows what her background is? But she does have a massive forehead. I'll say that for her. I mean, it's huge. You could house people on her forehead. I mean, I've got nothing against people with fetal alcohol syndrome. You know, you got to do what you got to do when you're in the womb. But that forehead, I mean, you could erect a 6-lane highway on there. You could probably put the entire island of Puerto Rico somewhere above her left eyebrow. And her love interest, for some reason she's got a love interest in this movie, Snow White, even though she's supposed to be 12 or something. He's a kind of waspy looking guy. I guess that's the extra thing to balance things out. He's kind of waspy looking, but he has a massive forehead too. How's that going to work out if they procreate? Can you imagine giving birth to a giant forehead? Doesn't that disturb you in some way? Does me. What's that? What did I think of the film? Snow White. I liked it. In fact, I liked it so much, I want you to refer to me as a Disney princess from now on. Yeah, I'm a Disney princess. Remember that, right? How do you address me? What do you got? Her Majesty, that's right. I'm a Disney princess now. Don't fuck with me. If you fuck with me, I'll break your fucking legs. I'm a Disney princess. That's me. Right? Send the word out to Mickey Spillane and the boys. Yeah. I've sent out for my gowns. I've got sequins. I've got other stuff, stockings. I've got a little crown I've been working on. Tassels. I've got it all worked out. The old me is gone. The mobster, the protectionist, the racketeering. Yeah, the drug dealing. The sex trafficking. Well, I might keep that actually. I might need that as a Disney princess. Know some good looking guys I gotta import into the country. Who can I get import? Okay, forget the sex trafficking bit. That's a bit dodgy. Okay. But this is me. I'm a Disney princess now. I'm no longer. Isn't this the other movie? The other guy. Emilio Perez. The guy was a drug dealer and then she became a trans woman of color. And unfortunately, she, the trans woman of color, said some stuff that would make Archie Bunker blush on Twitter, and then she, the trans woman of color, fucked up the Oscar nomination for her entire film. You bozo. But anyway, where was I? So I'm a Disney princess. I was supposed to do this in an Italian mob accent, but I'm going to stick this at the end as well. I'm just padding stuff out. Got to do what I'm learning. This is a learning process for me, you know. I'll see if I get even less views for this than I usually get, that I'm onto something. My ambition is to try to get no negative views. Like people actively avoid watching my videos. That's where I'm coming from. That's kind of what, you know, kind of my Rocky Balboa sort of pinnacle of achievement I'm aiming for. I can see it. I can see it right now. Now I've got an unusual take on this film. You know, from watching the trailer, I've kind of figured out what it is. Snow White represents Hamas, and the Wicked Queen represents the IDF. Now, the only reason I'm saying this is to get some comments, perhaps some death threats, some government surveillance, who knows. Something to liven things up, you know, drive up the viewership. But, you know, she's kind of like Hamas in some ways, that she, they have large foreheads too. They wrap those headscarves around, or those what's that called? A headband. You know those green things with the. I should get one of them. Maybe give my niece and nephew one of them for Christmas. Kind of inappropriate, but give it a go. And the Queen, Gal Gadot, whatever her name is, actually used to be in the IDF. So yeah, Snow White is Hamas, and the Wicked Queen is the IDF, Israeli Defense Force. Shrek is ISIS. Princess, the ogre female, Shrek's wife, Shrekette, is Al Qaeda. I'm going to try and list Al Qaeda. Al Shabaab is Grumpy. The Jackal, the IRA, I would say he's dopey. It's an Irish joke there. Sneezy who would be a sneezy terrorist? Somebody uses pepper in their explosives.